Hello, I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today, we're looking at Finizen and Palafin. We finally got that dolphin Pokemon. It only took, 30 years for us to get there? So I didn't really have high expectations for this, but after seeing the few suggestions I've seen, it actually seems like this episode might be worthwhile. So starting off, Clark, obviously in reference to Clark Kent, which can fit the character limit, and there's no real reason to do that. Clark is just the name of some stupid asshole. You could easily fit Clark Kent. You could also just easily just put Superman. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's not like Spider-Man where it seems stupid on a spider Pokemon. Small typo on this one. He's referencing Echo the Dolphin, which is what, a Sega thing? Well, I knew that, but it's spelled ECCO, which I've never played the games. I don't know much about it. I just know it by name, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, isn't that spelled wrong? It was spelled wrong. So, but I'm totally fine with Echo the Dolphin. It actually should be a very obvious choice. I'm going to go ahead and write that down along with Superman, honestly. How do I not have it down? Also, since it's right here in my suggestions, Kal-El, that's another name for Superman. I kind of understand the mindset behind it. Usually when we see things like Shazam, it's on electric Pokemon, and that makes sense because lightning. But this makes sense in terms of like something frail turning into something strong, so I get it. I don't know how I feel about it as a nickname idea. I mean, not on Palafin at least, but I will say I understand the logic. Fin Diesel is at least a nice pun, and I feel like you could put that on a few different fish-type Pokemon, but I also understand why it would prioritize Palafin. Now, more I actually have written down. This one I can't take credit for. I saw it in something else, some other thread, where someone was basically... They were explaining it, but like the heart on Palafin's chest was like a reason for it. So, yeah, I'm fine with that. That's in reference to... What's his actual name? Is it just not more? Doesn't he have a title? Submariner? That was it? He shows up in the Wakanda Forever, and it was kind of alright. But, you know, the film, the adaptation is of course going to vary depending on what you look at. But yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I think that one's good. It works with that one. I'm going to go ahead and, I guess highlight Poseidon, not because I think it's a good idea, but because I'm just going to say, hey, yes, it's there. The fact that it's number one I feel makes sense, but also, this Pokemon is too original for such a boring-ass generic name, so don't use that, because we've already talked about things that are better, and we're going to continue doing so. Riptide's right below it, another generic type water nickname that you could throw on anyone. Stand by what I said. If you don't like anything here, then fine, whatever, but yeah. All Might, I'm seeing a bunch, and I don't understand it, and I'm not even going to try Googling it because I know nothing's going to come up. So if you could explain that to me, feel free. Tsunami, there's another generic water type nickname. We see this all the time. You can put on whoever and it'll work. Right below that, Mermaid Man. This one was something my brother put for his Primarina, which I think is going to fit infinitely better. But I also kind of understand because we're looking at superhero fish thing. So I guess there's that. Neptune is just Poseidon again, or alternatively, you could disassociate and name it after the planet. The Deep is in reference to The Boys, where the parody of Aquaman is played by a character called The Deep, where Homelander is Superman, blah blah blah. So that one's fine. I don't know why we're seeing Serenity so much, but it's starting to feel like I'm getting stalked here. Again, you could put that onto any Pokemon, it'll work. Binding of Isaac, Bayonetta style nickname. But like, why specifically Serenity? I'm only highlighting this comment just so you can read it, because it's completely fucking out there. But he talks about Homelander, which is more The Boys reference. And then Stormfront right below for more The Boys reference. And then Omni-Man for Invincible. There's another superhero, but I mean, I guess, yeah, Palafin is based off Superman-ish, whatever. That's not for me to decide. Someone else already made the Pokemon and decided. I guess I just got sidetracked by The Deep. Can I just say that episode of The Simpsons where the dolphins walk on land and kill humanity and all that actually scared me as a kid? Lex Luthor for more Superman references. Oh, I really like Bizarro. Bizarro's a fun one. Or just Injustice. That's another good name right there you could use. Alright, you don't have to explain it. Someone put it in, but without a space, and I was like, oh, maybe that's it. And the fact that it actually comes up is kind of surprising. I didn't expect that. So yeah, some weeb shit I've never watched. I know My Hero Academia based off name, and that's it. Didn't know anything else. No fucking way. Child, have you not learned your lesson? I thought I subdued you. I thought I put you out of business. Let's see if he's gotten any fucking better. Okay. Wave Rider. I saw this on Ranker and ignored it because honestly, was it Ranker? I think it was Ranker. Because when I saw it, I thought about Wave Bird for whatever reason. So I just kind of dismissed that, but I don't really have an opinion on it. Splashdown I actually am okay with because water-based superhero from Incredibles. Does he give credit or does he act like he invented it? No, he didn't use the word we or anything like that. He just doesn't acknowledge the origin of Splashdown at all. But that one's from Incredibles. That one's fine. We've seen that plenty of times, and actually it fits very well for this. Like, that should actually be like a top choice name for it. Poseidon, we just talked about that. Flippa! I see you still haven't grown in the last 10 years since you've left. Heroics, Hydro Hero, Aqua Knight, Aqua Hero. Aqua Hero is the... It's the Guitar Hero clone where you drink water. Playmate, gonna be honest, I fucking hate that one. That one makes me uncomfortable because I was just reading the Game Facts article about how dolphins are evil, how they rape things, and then we're gonna go over to Playmate, which makes that sound like far more insidious, but also makes me think of like... Because people refer to like porn stars as playmates, but also like Playboy bunnies as playmates. So like, it's really hard for me to read Playmate and not have a sexual connotation attached to it. Splashy, Bubbles, things a 3-year-old thinks up. Well, damn. Hopefully this is the only Paldean Pokemon he covers. I did not expect this shit. I think this might have been where I came across Namor, actually. Yep, this is it. This is where I found it. This guy was the one that I got the Namor thing from, and now that I know that I've read here, I'm gonna start Control F'ing. Well, I already know better than to click on the last 3 because this is Cancer, this just never brings anything, and that's What's a Palafin. This was just them talking about the official names, but hey, we actually got more links in this episode than like a lot, which is very good. I didn't have much expectations. It's really weird. Like when it came out, I couldn't think of a lot of things, but like with time I'm just like, damn, this shit's so obvious. Why didn't we come up with these names? So firstly, let's go over the comment suggestions and see what you guys put out. Starting with GameCube, which is actually my idea that I put my brother on because the GameCube's code name was Dolphin. You can see this, I think it was actually referenced in Donkey Kong 64, I might be wrong. And then also in Isle Delfino, in Sunshine, being the dolphin. There was like a lot of hidden dolphin Easter eggs in the early 2000s, late 90s. Echo the dolphin. Well, we already talked about that one. King Snorky after the Killer Dolphin movie. Talked about that too. Snowflake after the Ace Ventura movie. Alright, but I don't think Snowflake on a dolphin is gonna be the best choice personally. Baywatch. I really like that one actually. That's a really fucking good one. And alternatively, you could put BAE if you want to. Submariner, Aquaman, Namor. Oh, well, there you go. We actually didn't technically see Aquaman at all, but we did see the Deep, which is kind of funny. Flipper. Well, it's better than Flippa, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and just put this one up and let you take it in and decide for yourself. Not for me personally, but I like that at least there's acknowledgement of Acrobat the Crobat, so a Finizen affinity, I guess. Flipper and Flapper, the 2 Palafins. We already talked about Flipper like twice now. Flapper is the bird from Donkey Kong Country 2 that doesn't actually fly. It just descends. Parrot, shoot, panic. May that haunt my nightmares for the rest of my life. Alright, so let's go down things that are written down. So, things we saw and talked about that I did write down. Homelander, The Deep, Omni-Man, Echo the Dolphin, Superman, Clark Kent, Kal-El, Namor, and now for stuff that wasn't covered in this video, technically GameCube, that was covered there at the end, but that one was my idea. Delfino, which I technically just talked about a second ago too. Delfino technically does mean dolphin in Italian, which also want to give out a shout out to Sunshine for like being the only Mario game that uses Italian, which hello, Mario's Italian, why aren't we embracing that a little bit more? I saw someone put Marvel just in reference to Marvel Comics as a superhero thematic, and I thought that one was really smart and clever too. And I was just like, damn, why has my stupid ass not thought about superheroes at all? And that was really when the world just started opening up. I will go ahead and say Almighty was a very popular choice. The other thing that was not mentioned that came to mind, let me go ahead and pull this up. Sorry, I had to look specifically for the image of him being crushed because without the anchor on top of him, you can't really recognize him. But just typing in Snorkel the Dolphin brings up this, and I'm like, no, we gotta find that anchor. And if you actually look, it's like almost like a story going through. So here's the story in reverse, and here's the story in real time. Yeah, Snorkel the Dolphin from Banjo-Kazooie was like my first thought when Palafin came out. That was the first thing that came to mind. And, like, Snorkel's not a bad name for a dolphin. It's certainly better than some other goofy-ass names that video games use, so I'm fine with that one. I just didn't personally use it. I didn't personally use anything. I haven't decided. But there's plenty of things to choose from. Hopefully you have come up with something from here. Snorkel, I think I also talked about in the Del Mize episode in a very cruel sense, because there you go. Get Del Mize, get Palafin, and you can just recreate Banjo-Kazooie. Any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Let us know what you'd use or recommend. Ultimately, it does kind of just come down to pick your reference, but I think there's quite some strong arguments for a few of these.